Okay, guys, now we're going to talk about intimacy. Intimacy. Now, of course, at the beginning, you talked about, God initially wanted us to not have sexual intercourse before we get married. And I think with really good reasons. Also because people tend to record, like, let's say if you're really horrible in the bedroom, maybe sometimes you'll think about, oh, John was so good and this one is so bad. But now let's talk about the fact that maybe now we are in this sexual relationship, right? And again, we're only talking about very serious relationships, guys. We're not talking about high school, small things. These things where you don't know what you're doing. We're not talking about situationships. We're not talking about all of those weird things. We are talking about proper, stable relationships as well as marriages. Yes. Now we have some people who may come from backgrounds where they're not open to talk about intimacy, and you only find out when you are really in a relationship with this person, where maybe you ask them, okay, so what is your favorite position? What do you like? And the person will tell you things like, no, you need to figure it out by yourself. What do you have to say about communication when it comes to intimacy, especially looking at maybe at somebody who's more shy and does not like to talk about it, maybe because of their background?
Okay, while we are on that topic, it's a very good topic also, and it's a ministry. A ministry is whereby there's a lot of department. You have to work it out so that it can stand, it can move on. So many people, they are enter into this sex relationship. Let me just say, you are into relationship and sex must be there. It's part of it. It's an integral part of your relationship, whether you are in marriage or whether in a serious relationship. So as an integral part of your relationship, you have to work it out. You have to discuss it openly as you discuss about money, expenses, school fees, and other things. Because it's also in an integral part. It's also part of your relationship. But in many relationships, people, they don't discuss about sex. No. And this is causing, and also caused many men, they are demoralized, and they find that their relationship become so lonely and bored. And some when we talk about intimacy, some things like gaining weight, maybe sicknesses, maybe let me say stinginess, as we have said it. These things can also affect sex intercourse. Shashi ngengo nkruka jokwari eri so afokakende kokoka, so nice sexy, and now she's becoming to expand, and there are many things that will cause women to expand in a relationship and marriages. So every woman will change, accordingly. So this also can affect sex emotion according to the expansion or to the expand of the body. Yes. And also there are many things that I can want to emphasize on it. This can also reduce intimacy from the spouse. Yes, it can reduce intimacy. We talk about financial security. Yes, financial security benefit in sexual relationship that can kill many people in a relationship and also in marriages. People today, they are no longer one like in marriage. They are two. Everyone is doing his finances this side. The woman is hiding her bank account this side, and this can affect intimacy also in marriage, because I'm not saying that finances can bring you together, but faithfulness and justiceness, openness as well is no longer there. How can I trust you if you don't trust me with your finances?
It's true what you say, because then how can I also trust you when you hide money from me? How can I trust you when you
cannot hide from me, if you can hide your money from me?
And I mean, the money is the relationship. Sex is the relationship, I want us to also get, as we're talking about intimacy, something that again affects many relationships I've come to see, and people talk about it, it's size, right? Some people talk about some people and then also women. Remember, we talked about women changing bodies. I think specifically here I want to relate on childbirthing. I've seen so many women, for example, who've had we're going to talk about women's health another day, but of course we're just talking about that in the aspects of relationship. I've seen so many times where some women have given birth, and then the men will complain and say, no, when I When I go there, it's like I'm just swimming. I don't feel anything. Let's talk about this. And I think let's also talk about grace on both sides of women and men, because of course things are changing. And as women, as people, as we are evolving as human beings, yes, we are changing. What can you say on this thing on the sizes when we talk about women and men?
Okay, when we talk about on sizes, when it comes to love and sex intercourse, that can really also happen in a relationship and also in marriage due to the circumstances that will appear in people's lives. It might be, as you said, due to the giving birth, and also a man can also lose his size due to some diseases. It might be the manhood who is no longer functioning well, but in this case, men will be patient with that. But if you find a man who is not patient with what he gets from his wife or girlfriend in that strong relationship, then grace needed. So there you cannot change anything. You can't change anything, because that's why we say strong relationship and marriages is for the matured people.
Say that again. And you know, you correctly say this, that it's only for mature people, because when you are mature, I think you come to an understanding that life can change, guys.
What I'm saying.
Yeah, life can change, guys.
Life can change.
Yeah.
It's for matured people.
Yeah.
That's where you find sometimes, I'm not against it, but I can say it. You can find sometimes when there's no enough sex maybe in the house, or something happen, or there's no intimacy, people are no longer working together. One is going outside, one is saying that. No, it's for matured people. It requires maturity, so that you will have a clear understanding that life can change. You were 12 years old, but now you are 50 years old. Life can change.
And what do you have to say on the notion of sexual dissatisfaction? I mean, there comes a time sometimes where maybe both of you or one of you is not satisfied. I mean, how can you really survive this, as well as also maybe surviving infidelity? Maybe your wife went out, or your husband went out, and then this effect. How do we survive some of these aspects of intimacy dissatisfaction?
Okay, but above all, if I can put it right, prayers also needed, because when we talk about prayers, it can give us fidelity. Prayers can also contribute to our infidelity, can transform us. You know, there is no one can transform a person. Only God can do it, but can only do it through prayers. Yes, if you want you're supposed to be transformed, you know how to pray. You have to pray for him, not just to talk and talk and talk. Talking cannot change a person. So the infidelity in person, you cannot pull it out. So first you have to trust one another. You have to and I want to assure you, if a man is not trusting himself, who are you to trust him?
Shoo! Say that again and say why you say that.
Yes, I said it because there are men that are not trusting themselves. They are not trusting themselves to keep their manhood. They are not trusting themselves to keep their finances, to keep them safe. Who are you now to trust such a person that cannot even trust himself?
And I think it's so correctly. That was a very powerful statement, guys. Short. Why it's such a powerful thing, Mina Shanti. You get sometimes in a relationship where let's say you're talking to your partner and you're saying, oh, but why is this and this happening? And the person will say, I also don't know what to do. I find myself doing this thing. Now, my brother or my sister, you find yourself doing that. How do you want me to keep trusting you when you yourself are not you are not even managing yourself to assist yourself in this regard? You understand me? Now, also on this notice, we're talking about, and I love the fact that you're a spiritual woman, because I also want to get into the spiritual aspect of intimacy and finances. Now, Mina Shanti, on that, you get people who say, for example, maybe they are cursed, or maybe that's why, maybe from the family lineage, they have the aspects of infidelity as a problem, or whatsoever they want to say, or they think that the finances, there's something chopping their finances and they don't know. I really want to hear your side on that, because on my side, right, and maybe they're gonna go for help. They're coming to you for prayers, for deliverance. They want the help and they want the assistance. Now, from my side, Mina Shanti, guys, remember, this is a platform we are learning. We are here discussing all of these things, because this is what a lot of people are running to churches for, and they're so frustrated in their relationships and marriages. From my side, Mina Shanti, honestly, it's pointless to look for help. if you're not going to be disciplined and help yourself. Because most of the time for me, what I have seen is that usually it's the lack of discipline and wanting to discipline yourself that usually leads you into these issues. Like I have seen people who are going to go for prayers, who are going to go for whatever means of help they get, and they still come back to be the same person, or like it doesn't even, what's your take on that? That's my take.
Give it to me. Hebrew chapter 5 from verse 7 have spoken that Jesus himself, he was a son of living God, but he was obeying. He was following the discipline and the rules of his father. Yet he know that I have power to destroy. I have power to bring this down. No, he was obeying. He was crying unto him alone. He was disciplined. He was disciplining himself. These things of going to church cannot change anyone. If you yourself, you are not ready to change.
Woo!
Let me just tell you the truth.
Please tell us the truth.
You can be prayed for. You can be anointed with a container of anointing oil, whatever, or anointing water. You can be prayed for a higher priest or higher prophet or whatsoever. But if you are not ready to change, it's not about the pastor. It's not about the boyfriend or the girlfriend or your husband or your wife. It's all about you. What is in your inside? God look inside. What you have your inside, then he will be able to intervene. How can he will be intervene in the things that are not prosper him or that are not glorify his holy name? Yes, I know you will keep on drinking alcohol. Let me just give you an example. I drink alcohol, but Lord, I don't want to drink. You started to change alcohol little by little. God can see that, yes, this man, he really want to change. Let me intervene. But if you just say you go to church and you don't want to fornicate, but yet coming from church, hi baby, where are you? Then what now? Then what now? You're coming from church and you say, Lord, I really want to change. Help me, oh Lord. Really, he will intervene. Leave these things of curses, and yes, they are there. Foundations are there. But only it takes your willpower. It takes your inner man to agree that, yes, I know I'm coming from a poor foundation, but I will never be poor. I will walk out. I will never be lazy. I will seek the face of God. Yes, then God will intervene.
Wow, I think that is such a powerful statement, because so many people think that everything is such a quick fix. You go for prayers, you deliver it. You go to a witch doctor, you are going to herbalist, everything, and they don't understand that there is always work. Guys, relationships, one thing you are really telling me is everything takes work. We talked about the topic of healing. It's a process, and you must take work, and it's not always comfortable. And I think for me sometimes, Mina Shandi, and that's another thing, the level of comfortability. People think that a good relationship is always going to be comfortable. It's always going to be smooth. If we argue a lot, it's because we're not meant to be. What I really want to hear the testimony. Please give us that testimony.
Okay. We can continue with the testimony to the next session.
Okay, guys, we're about to go into the next section. Guys, if you really want to hear, this lady is loved. She is one loved, happy babe. 27 years of married, and she looks like this. No, I'm clocking on that. Guys, make sure that you join us for the next section. This is section 3 as we continue this about love and the wallet and what keeps us together.